Such an honor to be back. Reverend Andriette, thank you for inviting me back. Now, this is as much your song as is mine. So at the end of the song, you'll know what it is. You'll know when to clap and you'll know when to sing. I'm not even going to instruct you on that. So are you willing to help me with this? All right. Let's make it happen, Thomas. When I actually listened to the words and realized this is a deep song. Are you feeling down and lonely? Feeling like you can't go on? Just remember, love will find a way. Yes, it will. Tell me, are you going through changes? Time seems like it's passing by. Just believe that love will find a way. I see the tears you cry. I see the pain that's in your eyes. So many times you were so lonely, and no one seemed to care. But if your hopes for your tomorrows are drowning in your sorrows, know your heart will show you the way. Hey, 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 hey. Are you trying to find a beginning or something just to hold on to? Always know that love will find a way. Is it hard, this life you're living? Does the world seem so unkind? Don't you worry, love will find a way. Some say we lost our way. Some say the world has gone astray. But if you know where you're going, there's nothing you can't do. 'Cause problems will come and they will leave you. The world will try to deceive you, but the truth will always be in your soul. Oh, oh, ow, 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 ow. Dip, 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 doo, doo, doo. So you guys come in. Do you want some joy in your time? Are you trying to find some peace of mind? All you need to know is love will find a way. All right. Are you looking for that place to go where the truth is all you'll ever know? All you need to say is love will find a way. Oh, are you trying for a place to go where the truth is all you ever know? All you need to say is love will find a way. Oh, are you looking for that place to go where the truth is all you ever know? All you need to say is love will find a way. Oh, are you looking for that place to go where the truth is all you ever know? All you need to say is love will find a way. Oh, are you looking for a little place to go where the truth is all you ever know? All you need to know is love will find a way. All you need to know is love will find a way. Love will find a way.
That's Tyrone Cozy. And Thomas Hughes on piano. Thank you, Tyrone. Good morning, heart and soul. It's good to be here. I am so very, very, very grateful for my sister in ministry who was here last week, Reverend D. Jacqueline Edwards, who brought y'all I have for over a decade now have considered Mother Harriet our patron saint. So she brought to our attention some other patron saints. And I think the one that I would invoke today is she who cherishes our hot mess. And she shared a few with you last week, but it just seems so apropos that we would presence she who cherishes our hot mess. And largely it's because we got hot mess. And it is wonderful to think in terms of having a patron saint who can hold that for us, who can cherish our hot mess, yes? Because sometimes it scares me. Y'all so messy, you scare me. I just thought I'd presence it since we have the patron saint to handle it. Otherwise, I might not have, yes? Yes, love will find a way. Yeah, thank you. Yes. There you go. There you go. I am truly a lyric girl. And I think I can really focus on the lyrics because I give no thought to the notes. So I'm not at all distracted by the notes and where I ought to be, so I can get right into the lyrics deep. Some of y'all who sing are so distracted by the notes and the scale and the chords and all manner of things that are confusing to some of us. But those of us who are not at all distracted by that can get right to the lyrics, the juicy part. Yes? Yes. So Lionel Richie offers us this. He says, I see the pain that's in your eyes. Now, my sense is the only reason I'm sharing this with you because I think he's talking to us. Like right now, this was written decades ago. However, I think he's talking to us for such a time as this Maybe, let's just see. I see the pain that's in your eyes. So many times you were lonely and no one seemed to care. But if your hopes for your tomorrows are drowning in your sorrows, know your heart will show you the way. Come on, patron saint. She who cherishes our mess. We're invited to just know that something else is possible. I often feel that, like, that's my mission, that's my purpose, that's my intention. Because, well, now look, let me be clear. This is not, okay, better? No? Okay, all right, thank you. This is not a mountaintop ministry. This is not a ministry where I climb down the mountaintop having just from my spot of enlightenment, and then I come to hang out with y'all and share a little something. This ain't that. This is often, sometimes y'all hear me howling out the valley. Good morning, heart and soul. I'm down here in the valley working it out, right here on mic. It so happens that today is not one of those days, but they come frequently. And I am in active practice of principle. Just actively engaged, and life continues to life. It doesn't say because you over there practicing principle, you get a day off. We're not going to life with you. People are peoply, and life will life all over us. Because we part of the peoply part. Y'all know that. I mean, often we like look over there and it's them. They being peoply, they the hot mess. And we forget. So are we. We's all in this together. But the reason I say to you that this is not a mountaintop ministry, I would never want you to have a sense that we're not in this together. That I truly understand in this moment. You know, this is sometimes I trip me out. Let me just tell you the truth. Sometimes I really do trip me out. Because how things come to me are within like the same pattern of the way my mind works. So I got this hit just in passing. I thought my talk today was about something else entirely. Something quite good, by the way. But just the other day, I heard the audacity of hope. Out of nowhere. I wasn't thinking about it. It just like came, and I thought, oh, and it set on my spirit. And I thought, you know what? We must truly be audacious. Today, yesterday, tomorrow. I mean, audacious. Y'all understand the definition of audacious is to be bold, is to be courageous. The opposite is cowardice. That's where life is unfolding, but you're too scared to address it. You're hoping that life as it's unfolding will just go away if I act like I don't see it. Cowardice. Has it ever worked? Has when mail starts coming in different colors? I'm just saying. When mail starts coming in different colors, if you try to ignore it, does it go away? Likewise, life. You know what I mean? That's just like a little mini piece. But I know many have tried that. Like if I act like I don't see it. So this is really a call to audaciousness, the bold and brazenness that says, I'm willing to know something more, even though it looks like less, even though the call is for less. See, it's why Mother Harriet is right here, because she is my representation of audaciousness. Enslaved by the practice, just the experience, plus the law, plus the. But she was audacious enough to say, I'm free. Nothing to nothing to echo that. Nothing pops up to say, you win. Just because you said you're free, you now are. You must have the boldness, the brazenness to know it no matter what. Is this making sense? So in this adventure in faith that we're reminding you by the way that we are invoking the theme, that it's from the inside out. See, no telling how long it's going to take the world to validate your vision. It's got to be from the inside out. If you're waiting, and unfortunately, we're not trained in this as youngsters. You know, I love the little book, Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. I wish it were so. But they didn't teach us that life must be lived from the inside out. Deb, I'm going to need you to help me. But that's the way that it must be lived. That you must, come on, Mother Harriet, help me out with this. You must know it for yourself. And very often we invoke the two Harriets here. So we invoke Harriet Tubman and we invoke Harriet Jacobs. And we know that Harriet Jacobs hid out in the crawl space of a tin shack, her grandmother's tin shack, for 7 years, waiting for, she tried escaping and realized that wasn't going to work that time. So she came back and she hid out in that crawl space for 7 years. See, I don't know how long, I wish I could only come with some good news for you. That if you did 2 weeks for you, 6 for you, I wish. But it might be 7 years. Might be a decade. I don't know what your rhythm is going to be. I don't know what will move you and when or how. Heck, I don't even know what's going to move me when, how, and where. I don't know. I'm not the one. And you don't know from where you are. This is why you're being bold and brazen and audacious is so essential. Because that's the only way you're going to make it through. It may be tomorrow morning, in which case you can go, whew, because I don't know how much longer I could have held on. But if it's 7 years, you're going to have to bring something to show up every day believing and knowing that this adventure in faith is for you. And what? Love will find a way. Because that's who you are. That's whose you are. That is what is unfolding within you from the inside out, and that's how it's all happening. Oh my goodness. So look, what I think I'm up to today is this notion of President Barack, well, he wasn't then. He was running for Senate, I think, when he wrote the book. No, I guess he was running for president at that. No, he wasn't. It was written in 2006. So he was running for the Senate. But the audacity to hope. And I say to you today, to hope again. And not with finality, Because I could really say to you again and again and again. It's to have that be our state of being, the way our heart works. Yes? To just, whatever comes up, to know that. See, I think Mother Harriet was there with that. No matter what came up, she knew she was going to be free. Nothing looked like it. Wasn't nobody coming to help her be free. But she was knowing. Y'all don't. Okay, it's us. It's us because they not helping. They're not helping. So look, here's the idea that I'm going to invite you to hold, to embrace for a moment, that in this season of political division, is it? Okay. And some uncertainty, are you? Okay. I'm inviting us to claim to claim the audacity of both of hope and to hope. The audacity of hope and to hope. Yes? And we're gonna see if this helps. So I'm drawing from Reverend Dr. Jeremiah Wright, President Obama, and Ernest Holmes. You was talking about a mashup this morning. Yes. Yes. Am I not mashing some stuff up? Come on, girl. My intention then is for us to engage spiritual hope to reignite our faith. You see, I know I've come to you many times before. I don't know if I've said it aloud or only thought it, that hope is not a spiritual principle. But you got to work from where you are. Faith is the spiritual principle. But if you can't get to faith, you best grab hold of hope. Does that make sense? Start where you are. So if all you can muster, and I don't mean all like it's just a little bit, but if where you find yourself energetically is, I'm hoping for a better day, then don't listen to anybody who tries to tell you that that's not high enough on the scale, because you're working your way to faith. But start with hope and dig in deep. Yes? Yes. So in this, well, let me just get right to it. Look, it began, what my research reveals is that President Obama, pre-presidency, was first introduced to this concept of audacity and hope with it reading Audacity to Hope. This was Reverend Dr. Jeremiah Wright's sermon. The sermon that he gave was entitled The Audacity to Hope. And he worked it out. It's worth taking a look at. Excuse me. What got him started, though, is how we're going to look at this, is Reverend Frederick Sampson. So he was speaking at a conference that Reverend Dr. Jeremiah Wright attended, and what he introduced, or what Sampson was speaking to, a part of the basis for his talk was this art piece entitled Hope by George Frederick Watts from 1886. And so in this piece, I wish it were even if it were bigger, it still is difficult to discern. But let's see what we can see here. Oh, here's what we need to do. Let's see if we can do this. Yes. That what we see is someone like sitting on an orb. And we can say it's intended to be the world, is one way that we would see this. So this person is sitting on the world, and you see she's ragged, etc. Well, she's playing a note. But look, there is one string that is there. So the idea is that even with just one string, It's the audacity to hope. And there can be examples in, if we pass the mic around, we could each give an example, if we thought about it, of being at that point where all we have is the one last string. Now, can I say this about that? I'm entitled. As a youngster, I played violin, so don't think I'm just totally out of my realm. I am out of my realm, but not totally. By the time you're down to the last string, you scared. Because you know how you got down to the last string. You see, you know how it happens. So you know that the fallibility of the strings are up for you this morning. Yes? So it's not just the last string, it's the experience of getting there that we're also enmeshed in. Does this make sense? So you're at this point where this notion of the audacity to hope is real. Yeah? So Reverend Dr. Jeremiah Wright hears Samson's talk. And then at some point, he writes his own. And now, Samson's talk was hope and using the art piece. So Dr. Wright spoke to the art piece, but introduced the audacity to hope. Obama, while he's running for the Senate, or sometime right in there, maybe a little before, is present for that talk. I'm trying to say something. See, we don't know. We don't know what the little morsel is. See, I'm glad y'all show up as you show up, because we don't know what the little morsel is that's going to support us in the next breath, in our vision, because out of that talk, what Obama took away became the basis for his campaign. It became, they reformed the campaign. First he spoke that out, and then he wrote the book. But in the way he did it is the audacity of hope. So we've come from the audacity to hope to the I'm doing the best I can. Yeah, I know you at home. I know you at home and already worked it out. Yes, but this is, but they're getting it. So we come from the audacity to hope, to even hope, to the very audacity of hope. And that combination for me holds us that there's something more always. And each of us must have the audacity to hope, as well as honor and engage the audacity of hope. Yes? Okay. So, Obama in his book says hope. Hope in the face of difficult. Hope. He's saying howsoever y'all have to do it. Hope. Hope in the face of uncertainty. The audacity of hope. In the end, that is God's greatest gift to us. A belief in things not seen. A belief that there are better days ahead. I'm inviting you to get on board. In this adventure in faith, everything rests on what you believe. I know this is heresy for somebody. I have just gone a bridge too far, yes? But when you understand how life gets to be the way it is, you can begin to honor that when we change our thinking, no, I don't want to say it like that. When we change our thoughts. Because sometimes we have to just get in there and extract them. You know, it's a get thee behind me moment. When you realize you're thinking some mess that you don't want to live. I'm talking to y'all at home too. When you realize that the thought that you're entertaining is not one you want to live in. That's a moment where you must have the audacity to shift it, to hope for something else, to know something more. Now, none of this is easy. It's rolling off the tongue, but it is not easy because it's going to require a level of vigilance, a level of awareness. First of all, you gotta call out your observer. You got to bring her in, bring him in, bring them in such a way that you can see you. Most of us don't even know what we just said. So you want to begin the practice of paying attention to your thoughts. And a start might be, I know this is, come on now, don't. I'm going to ask for grace in advance. You might start by looking at your life. Just look at your life and see, because you're in it, by the way. I know, yeah. Look at your life. Sometimes folks have spoken to me as if their fingerprints aren't on their life. Now, everybody else sees their fingerprints on their life. But for some reason, we just see other people's fingerprints on our life. And that's where we want the help sent. Yes? Get the Calvary on that. But I've come today to say your fingerprints are all throughout your life, on everything. And the sooner you see that, and I don't mean just hear me and be willing to consider, although that's a starting place. But the sooner you can see yourself in your life, the sooner you'll realize how much power you have to change it. Change your thoughts, change your life. And that's because there's not a behavior that isn't somehow connected to your thoughts and emotions. So if you can get in there where the thing is actually happening, and you can, I guess I should say not if you can, if you will. If you're willing to get in there where the stuff is really happening, get in there and say, I know, not easy, just required. Get in there, take a deep breath, and look to see what you're doing. What are you up to in your life? You're causal. And that's the good news. This is not me beating you up. This is me bringing you the best news you've had. Because if it's not you, you got a problem. The good news is you don't have a problem because it is you. Which means you can shift it. You can change it. The audacity to hope and the audacity of hope. The belief that there are better days ahead. Look, we got to go to Hebrews 11 and 1. So in the King James Version, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I often go to the Aramaic Bible in plain English. It says it this way. Now, faith is the conviction concerning those things that are in hope. Come on now. Somebody at home, apparently. Somebody at home, help me. Send a note in the chat, something. I'm needing a little lifeline here. Now, faith is the conviction concerning those things that are in hope. So we're starting at hope. Hope is our base level. If you can get a little hope generated, can you see where you can go? Because at the point that you build faith, where you build the conviction of what you were hoping for. Here's the thing I fail to remind you of, is that hope is insufficient. Which is why when we've just been hoping for a thing, it has not manifest. And we've made up stuff about our worthiness and unworthiness and our timing and poor timing and otherwise. We just have all kinds of things we've made up, but it's because we're not understanding how life gets to be the way it is. Hope is not enough to demonstrate, but it's enough to get you started. It's enough to get you started. So let's get started. Now, faith is the conviction concerning those things that are in hope, as if it were those things in action. Yeah? Thank you. And the revelation of those things that are unseen. It's coming into being once you do the work. Here's the thing about that. We don't like doing the work. Tell the truth. We want the outcome, but we don't, Rev, I don't want, well, how else can I get it? Isn't that what some of you think? Well, what's my other choice? What else can I do? Because I don't want to do all that. Is it okay if I just connect the dots real clearly? The world we have now is based on that behavior. How life gets to be the way it is? Because we're standing back, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to say that out loud. I don't want to have to. If we go back far enough, we all have the same ancestors, but I'm not going back that far. There's a point at which I just want to acknowledge that there's some ancestors that had to do the work. Now, they didn't have to do the work, but they knew they had to do the work. Y'all get the distinction here? So nobody was going to make them do the work, but because a show that it's shifting for me, I'm realizing as I'm saying this aloud, but a show that I really used to just love and embrace and could hardly wait till they had put up more episodes. Has a name. Skip Gates. Finding your roots. Thank you. You my lifeline, Damala. Yes. Finding your roots. There's so much to unpack that has nothing to do with whoever's life whoever's roots we're, because they're so similar. But invariably, first of all, when there are black folks of African ancestry, there is what Dr. Skip Gates calls the wall. And it's the wall of enslavement where individuals who are enslaved are often not recorded as names. that this whole idea of DNA and going back requires some records. And there is often what he calls the wall, because there's a point at which the majority, the vast majority of black folks in the African Americans whose ancestry comes from, in these United States, from enslaved people, it gets to that wall and they really can't. They kind of have, they can guess sometimes based on gender and age and, some other factors, but nothing definitive. But what we can always see definitive in the newspaper articles that are there and the various other records that are there is the degree to which those folks in power went to ensure that these folks who were no longer enslaved could not vote, could not have access. And some of the laws at the time would curl everybody's hair. There for the sole purpose of ensuring that there would be no power sharing, no wealth sharing. I'm being redundant now. Power and wealth, I'm just naming stuff now. So I say that to you to say that when I read, and during his show, there are often those folks that still went to register. As whole mobs came to just burn down whole neighborhoods based on folks going to vote. So this audacity that I'm talking about, we got roots in it. You're not burning new trail. You don't have to invent not a thing. It's just to be willing. Does that make sense? Yes. Because they've already blazed the trail of how to show up even though everything is on the line. And when we say everything, we don't mean what they meant. When we say everything is on the line, we don't mean in any way, shape, or form what our ancestors meant. So this is a party we can go to. We can get ourselves ready to build that sense of the audacity within me to hope. Even though I hear all the noise that it's not worth it to hope. Not my business. They're doing something different. This isn't the first time you had to tune out, folks. You had to tune out, the party line. Yes? So that you can know in your life, experience the audacity of hope. The way that it works in your life once you are bold enough to hope. Something happens once you engage it, yes? Until you do it, it just won't be worth it. I have never quoted from the Christian Standard Bible. Let me just tell you, I didn't even know there was such a translation. But in my research, Dr. Jeremiah Wright used it, and I thought, I didn't even know what CSB was. But I'll look anything up. And so in the version he was using, it reads like this. Now faith is the reality of what is hoped for. The proof of what is not seen. So look, what I love about offering you these three options is you'll pick something that resonates for you. And it'll get you, it's like an invitation to the party. You'll choose whatever one you want. My prayer is that you'll just get in there and be willing to hope, because so much of what is being said now would leave you with the impression that there's no point in hoping. like it's a fait accompli. Said who? The people who are trying to do it to you? Come on now. That had never been how we got down before. Was it? That's not part of the historical approach. But now we're going to do it? I'm suggesting not. Yes. So you stand for what you know you're standing for. You're not listening. And so see what this means when we get down to cases, y'all? When we really get down to what my mother would say, brass tacks? When we get there, what we're saying is that you are no longer beginning right now. You are no longer allowed, permitted to start quoting some mess from the oppressor, whoever you perceive as oppressing. You know, I'm just going to say we're just going to put up a general banner, no more quoting the oppressor as what's going to be your marching orders. Yes. No, beginning today, and forgiveness for whenever we did, however we did, whatever we were thinking before, but beginning right now, no more. And when you start, just choke that off and say, I have the audacity to think a different way, to live a different way, to say something else, to believe something else. Is this making sense? Okay, good. Barack Obama said this, wrote this actually. Pardon me. We will need to understand just how we got to this place. Come on with your Sankofa self. This land of warring factions and tribal hatreds. Now, this was 2006, but we're just going to act like it was yesterday. Yes, because this is a message for right now. Yes? And he wrote, this is in his book, and we will need to remind ourselves, despite all our differences, just how much we share. Common hopes, common dreams, a bond that will not break. Now, what we got to see in recent years is how, with the right kind of campaign, how you could have it look like something else and how folks would line up behind it. Okay. Because what's true is we really do have common hopes, common dreams. The key is that we allowed the bond to be weak. We start looking at where we could slice and dice like a strand of hair. So we could be, that piece of the strand is different. And different equates to not good enough. Foolishness. But somebody has to have the audacity to stand and say, that's foolishness. Kind of reminds you of the Emperor's New Clothes. Somebody has to be willing to just stand and call it out. And that's an important little fairy tale, because so many folks were afraid. They didn't have the audacity to just say, what clothes? The audacity to speak up and say what's so. Yes. You know, we went through women's history, went through Black history, women's history. I was forever quoting the folks who were willing to stand and say what's so. In the midst, like voices in the wilderness. compared to the party line and what folks were willing to seemingly accept. And just see, here's the thing, I'm not criticizing that because I know what it's like to feel like you can't do nothing else. But that's why I'm here today, to say it's not so. You don't trust all your other feelings. In a little while, we're going to invite you to give generously. Everybody, I'm going to invite you to trust the feeling of generosity today. There are those feelings that we can trust, that you know are right and good. And we are adepts at fighting our good, or we'd all be healthy. By every metric. Oh, now she's like, okay, I know I'm gone too far now, right? Okay, let me get back to my quote over here. All right, so Barack goes on to say, in a country, as I know when I'm out of order, she's like, okay, go on back to the sermon. Leave us alone about all the other stuff. Okay. In a country as diverse as ours, he wrote, there will always be passionate arguments about how we draw the line when it comes to government action. This is how our democracy works. But our democracy might work a bit better, he says, if we recognize that all of us possess values that are worthy of respect. If liberals at least acknowledge that the recreational hunter feels the same way about his gun as they feel about their library books. Come on now, I'm just saying. I'm not just reading it. I'm literally saying we got to look at ourselves. This is why that self-observation is so important. You can't just be out there calling everybody out and not see you. She said with love and respect. He says, and if conservatives likewise recognize that most women feel as protective of their right to reproductive freedom as evangelicals do of their right to worship. This is just honoring each other. You see, this is always the inside and the outside. It's the internal and the external. So we're going to have to do this same thing with self. We're going to have to check ourselves. Love ourselves from a place of love, from a place of understanding, a place of compassion, a place of empathy. Check ourselves. And I'm going to say, let's do that first before we trot out to correct the world. You know, it's not instead of, and I don't know the exact timing of it all. I just know that we got work to do. And a lot of it is our inner work, but there's no point in doing inner work if there's not going to be no outer work. The work that includes all of us. See, that's what he's talking about, is how are we going to do this thing so that we're in community, so that we're honoring each other, so that we can see. And dare I say, Wednesday night with IJ, thank you, Damali and Suzette and the team for doing this. Dr. David Alexander, Reverend Dr. David Alexander was with us. And there's I only give 3 talks at a time. There was a piece that he was emphasizing about that it's not an either or. It's not that you either going to work on yourself or you're going to be in the world. And be a solution, be a participant, make a difference. You got to do it all. Because that's the hope. No point in working on you if you ain't going to share it. If you're not going to make a difference. If you're not willing to include folks, that's why we do this. Y'all don't know that we could all be at home reading a book. I could just send y'all the name of the book and some key pages. But that would not be community. We are in here together doing this. I'm the one on mic, but y'all are feeding me. And can I tell you the truth about this? If y'all weren't here and it was a different group of people, this talk would be different. It would have to be. Because all I do to prep, but all the stuff I prepped, we never gonna see today. We never have. I learned decades ago that my prep is for me. It's to get my stuff out of the way so I can be available for the divine message. So the message we are messing with today is the message for y'all. It's our message. Yes? Okay. He says, in almost every successful social movement, I need you to hear this, or read it yourself too. Social movement of the last century, from Gandhi's campaign against the British rule to the Solidarity movement in Poland to the apartheid movement in South Africa, democracy was the result of a local awakening. That's what I'm talking about here, is our local awakening. So this local awakening is both geographical and it's personal. This local awakening is you, the singular, I'm talking about you, and it's the most plural you as to be universal. Does that make sense? Yes, this is a call for us to have the audacity in all of these ways to take responsibility. This German theologian, Jürgen Moltmann, says to reinvent your own country, you need a great audacity of hope. Is that not what's required? To reinvent our country. I shared with you during Women's History, Susan Taylor talking about America the Beautiful. To move it from aspiration to a thing that each of us could say in truth with pride. America the Beautiful. Not as a slogan, as a way to describe how we are with each other. As a way to describe our reality. But it will only be our reality if we have the audacity to see it through. Yeah. So look. Oh, I said I was going to give you some Ernest Holmes. Let me hurry up and do that. Okay. Barker and Holmes, Dr. Raymond Charles Barker and Ernest Holmes in Richer Living offer this. I think it was September. Hope rises within me and sings a song of joy. Love goes before me and embraces everything. Peace accompanies me on my way, while doubt and fear vanish as mist before the light. You better ask somebody. Because this is our opportunity these are like lyrics to a song. Where my songwriters at? You know, there's something about putting some of the spoken word to music. Can you imagine? Because we would record it. This is one of the ways that things get recorded on our heart and in our mind. Yes? If we were singing that hope rises within me and sings a song, oh, yeah. We could absolutely just begin to change our consciousness, our awareness, just all of it. Look, I'm going to end with Dr. Jeremiah Wright. When he was pastor of the Trinity UCC Church, he said, hope is what saves us. Keep on hoping. Keep on praying. God does hear and answer prayer. When we, to the extent that we step in, the audacity to hope and the audacity of hope, we can expect and anticipate amazing things. Come on, Mother Harriet, tell them. Tell them they don't even know from where we sit right now how it can be. Harriet Jacobs, tell somebody, help them to understand what I'm saying. That you cannot know from where we are right now the amazing unfoldment of life for the one who has the audacity to hope. Tyrone Cozy and Thomas Hughes.
The very first time I sung this song was 2.5 years ago when my granddaughter Naya was born. Now she has a little brother, 6 months old. His name is Dez. So you know we're going to call him Desi Dez, right, when he gets older. So I'm dedicating this song to him as well as her, and they're watching right now, so love you guys. This is by Megan McDonald. It's a beautiful song. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings. And with every step you take, bless the progress that you'll make. The reason you live is in every choice and gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. All the places you will go, all the people you will know. Don't worry when, where, or how. You don't even need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy this day it brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Thomas Hughes. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind drift for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You will do amazing things. Oh, you will do amazing things. Oh, oh, you will do amazing things.